Hey guys, we're back with another video. I'm Mackenzie, your host for today.
No, I like that, your host for today.
Oh, I love this. Wow.
Just for today.
Okay, do I have to restart again?
Not tomorrow, not last week.
Well,
no,
just today.
Just today, guys.
Today.
Just today. Okay, so this is Sam and Steven and Bella, and we're going to be in 2 Samuel chapter 9 today, reading and discussing with you all. And we're going to be talking about David and Mephibosheth.
There you go.
Okay, so the question for today is, what do you imagine it being like if your friend has a kid? Go.
I feel like it would be kind of a fun experience, I guess, because I mean it's your best friend, so you're really close with them, so it can give you like kind of a view into what it would be like if you like had your own kid, kind of. So it can give you experience, and it's also like, I mean,
Sorry, you had a hair in your eye.
it's your friend's kid, so it's kind of like the kid has the mom's personality a little bit, so it's like your friend and baby.
So if I had a kid, you'd be like Auntie Bella.
Yeah.
You'd like spoil my
That'd be
child.
great.
Like whenever I went out of town, you'd like take my kids and you'd be like, let's go get ice cream. Okay.
That sounds awful. It would be awful.
Ice cream is delicious.
No, it would be awful if my friends had a kid because
Oh.
then the friend wouldn't have any more time for me.
Oh.
They would be
That is
putting
kind of true.
all their
They-
attention.
So selfish.
They're putting all their attention into this child that it can't really do anything or have fun, and they have to care for it when they can come over to my house and hang out and just have a good time.
And play Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh yeah, but see, you can't do that if you have a kid.
Sure you
Yeah,
can.
Sure you
can.
can.
You can
Lock
find
the
a
kid in the
babysitter.
closet.
I'm sorry, what?
Hold on. Hold on.
Edit. Oh
No, no,
my
no, no,
God.
that's going in.
That's, yep. For the record, Mackenzie just said we're gonna lock the baby in the closet.
No! Like if it's like a kid, like 8.
Still!
That doesn't
That's
make
not
it any
fair.
better. We find a
Okay, fine, what's a
babysitter.
babysitter?
It's
Or
2020. You shouldn't force the kid in the closet. You should accept them for who they are.
Oh my god, that one's got to be cut out.
Oh, but locking the kid in the closet wasn't.
Oh no!
Moral of the story, don't out your kids.
Okay, so back on subject. I'm gonna start talking again. So I'm gonna answer the question because I didn't get to answer it. So if no.
You did.
Okay.
You're gonna have
No,
to cut
I
that
want to
out.
answer it again because I didn't. Get to
Oh yeah,
answer
you want to give a
mine.
better answer that we don't have to cut out of this one? Go ahead.
Stop bullying me.
I'm not.
Okay, so
Bullying and making
if-
fun of are two different things.
It's only
I don't
bullying
think
if
so.
you don't deserve it.
why does he sound like a kettle pot? Like
A
a
kettle
teapot.
Oh.
I'm sorry. It just got really hot in here.
I really want a blooper reel when this is all done.
Please, can we take all the videos and just put it together? Okay, back on track.
Choo-choo.
Okay, go.
Okay. So, if my best friend had a kid, I'd hopefully be the godparent, and that I would take their children. Well, not take them, but like when they went out of town, I'd like babysit them, and they'd be like, "Oh, we're going over to Aunt Kenzie's house, and then we're gonna go get ice cream, and we're gonna go and have fun." That they wouldn't have fun at their house. Like the fun that they wouldn't have at their house, they'd have at my house. So they'd be like, I want to go over to Aunt Kenzie's house all the time.
What if they didn't like you?
Okay, well, they're gonna like me. That's just it.
No,
Like,
the reality of it is, if a close friend of yours has a child, to a degree, it's almost like you have a child because you're going to still be spending time around them and you're hanging out with a kid, and so you get to do all the fun activities and things like that. You know, like the first time they go out fishing or hunting or something like that. You know, all
You
that
are
fun
such
stuff.
a redneck.
Hold on.
You are a redneck.
Hold on. You're missing out on the
Gosh.
best part. You don't have to raise the kid.
That is
I
true.
don't want to go
The
fishing.
kid gets to go home after. You don't get the kid
The
all
second
the time.
they start
It's
crying,
like a grand.
you
It's
have to
like
change
the
the diaper. Here
grandparents,
you
the
go.
best
Take-
stuff, and then you don't have to take responsibility and raise the kid.
You don't have to change the diaper. You don't have to stop him from crying. You don't have to wake
Right.
up at 3 a.m. to
Right.
settle it down when it screams.
And-
If you accidentally
And the
drop
best
them,
part-
it's not your fault.
Okay. So, Sam's gonna read.
I thought
Sam's
you were
gonna
reading
read.
1 through 4.
Oh no, I'm gonna read.
I've still lost it. If you drop them, it's not your fault.
No!
Whoops, Butterfingers. You can't do that with a kid.
Okay.
Shouldn't have put so much lotion on it.
Oh.
Okay,
Put
I'm
sunscreen on a child to make it not sunburn.
gonna read 2 Samuel, chapter 9, verses 1 through 4. David asked, "Is there anyone still left in the house of Saul to whom I can show kindness for Jonathan's sake? Now there is a servant of Saul's household named Ziba." They called him to appear before David, and the king said to him, "Are you Ziba?" "Your servant," he replied. The king asked, "Is there no one still left of the house of Saul to whom I can show God's kindness?" Ziba answered the king, There is still a son of Jonathan. He is crippled in both feet. Where is he?" the king asked. Ziba answered, "He is at the house of..." I don't know how to pronounce that.
I believe it is Makir, son of.
Makir.
I want to say Amul. Amul.
Makir.
We're going with Emil.
Amiel. Okay, Makir, son of Amuel in Lodabar. I did it. I read it.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Congratulations.
thought that was Lodar.
So, basically, Jonathan and Saul died in a battle. Where,
Spoilers.
and like, spoiler alert, didn't know what happened, but it did. Okay, so, and David, like, wasn't there. So basically, Jonathan and Saul died in battle, and David didn't. So, David, like, was becoming king. And so, since, like, he was becoming king, everybody, like, wanted to, like, flee out of the kingdom or, like, wherever they were, because they, like, thought that once, like, he was gonna come into, like, the kingdom and, like, take over a rule, that he was gonna, like, kill everybody in his path. The nanny is taking care of Mephibosheth, who's Jonathan's son, and she was running very fast. She tripped and fell on the baby, broke him, his feet. And then, so since there, like, wasn't enough time for her to, like, take and pause and, like, go and get him care and help and get him all stitched back together and fixed, she just kept running. So he was, like, he's still, like, that's why his feet don't work, and he's, like, crippled and all that jazz. So, when David, like, went into the kingdom, he wanted to, like, know where, like, who was in the family, who was, like, still left. And then so the servant, Ziba, told him, like, basically, there's this one guy, Mephibosheth, but he's no threat to you. Like, tries to, like, talk David out of, like, getting Mephibosheth and, like, him coming to the kingdom, because they thought that he was going to kill him. But that's not what he was going to do. So, he was being kind and just wanted to see Mephibosheth. So Mephibosheth lives in Lodabar, which in modern day is, like, somewhere you don't want to live. So my question is, where is somewhere you didn't want to live in? Where is somewhere you wouldn't want to live, and why?
Oh, I mean, if we're just throwing it out there, any third world country. I'm fat and I'm lazy and I really like the internet.
The
Clean
internet
water is
is
also nice.
The internet is nice. You.
I probably... Probably the same as Sam, like not a third world country where there's a lot of poverty and not a lot of jobs, so I couldn't help take care of myself. Or if I need health care, there's not much available, or water, food.
Probably, if there's one place I didn't want to live, North Korea. Yeah, you don't want to live there.
I probably wouldn't want to live. I'm very addicted to my phone, and I'm saying that not proud, but I am. And I could not live without the internet. Probably couldn't live without clean water. Probably couldn't live without freedom, because that's something we have that not a lot of other places have. We got a free country. So
Correct,
if I like couldn't do the things that I can do now, and I couldn't do that somewhere else, don't want to live there. I just don't want it. Don't want it.
No, if we're being real here, I wouldn't want to live anywhere outside of probably just the U.S. and England, purely because I can barely speak English. I don't need to try and learn a new language.
Oh.
Yeah, they speak
Canada's
English in
nice.
Canada.
Okay, but then I have to deal with Canadians. You're not Canadian.
Maple syrup though.
What about maple syrup here?
It's cold up there.
And
It's amazing. Cold
It's
is
cold here like
cold
2
is
weeks out of
cold.
the year.
it is.
You're funny.
Okay. So basically that's the backstory. And we're gonna Oh my gosh!
Here's what we do. We start yelling louder, and we start to get into screaming contests.
I think someone's being murdered out there.
I'm scared.
Or they're just cheering their friend on.
Okay.
Okay, so backstory. That's where
So
you were at.
we were
cheering
at the
for the murder.
backstory.
No, you
And
just
so I already
You said so. That's the backstory. That's where you left
Okay.
off.
Yeah.
On verse
So that's that. And then why do you think people were what do you think why do the people think that David was asking for Mephibosheth to come to his place?
Probably because he found out that it's his now deceased best friend's kid. And I would want to know my best friend's kid and kind of be like, if their dad died, I would kind of want to be like their second father and like take care of them and raise them so they would have a father figure in their life because that's important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know the reaction that Ziba is giving here is one of those. Well, why do you want me to go find this guy? He's lame in both legs. He can't really do anything. Why would you want to interact with him? Because it's more of a fear for the household that you took pride in serving and being a part of. It's one of those he's afraid that they're going to or he's about to summon Mephibosheth just to be murdered.
Yeah. So like when they say in the passage when it says that like David wants to show kindness, they think like kindness like you're dead, like that
His
kind
sword-
of kindness.
His sword is named
Like
kindness.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kill
Yeah.
people
Huh?
with
Or a
kindness.
quick death.
Kill him with kindness. Okay.
Okay.
So they think that like Ziba and like the people of the kingdom think that like David's gonna like kill Mephibosheth because they think that like Mephibosheth's gonna like come and like ooh let me take your throne, but no, that's not what's gonna happen. So yeah. Okay, you can read now.
Oh.
Please.
Starting at verse 5.
Five.
So King David had him brought from Lodabar from the house of Machir, son of Amiel. When Mephibosheth, son of Jonathan, and the son of Saul came to David, he bowed before him to pay him honor. David said, Mephibosheth, at your service, he replied. Don't be afraid, David said to him, for I will surely show you kindness for the sake of your father Jonathan. I will restore to you all the land that belonged to your grandfather Saul, and you will always eat at my table. Mephibosheth bowed down and said, What is your servant that should notice a dead dog like me? Then the king summoned Ziba, Saul's steward, and said to him, I have given your master's grandson everything that belonged to Saul and his family. You and your sons and your servants are to farm the land for him, bring in the crops, so that your master's grandson may be provided for. And Mephibosheth, grandson of your master, will always eat at my table. Now Ziba had 15 sons and 20 servants. Then Ziba said to the king, "Your servant will do whatever my lord the king commands, and his servants do, or commands his servants to do." So Mephibosheth ate at David's table like one of the king's sons. And Mephibosheth lived in Jerusalem, because he always ate at the king's table, and he was lame in both feet. Really limping across the finish line.
Lem. You said Lem. I'm sorry.
No,
For the record, you'll see that in one take. That took about 10 tries just to get those 2 verses down.
yeah, and Albert does a whole sermon in one sitting.
Yeah, he does.
You think 1 to 2 takes is all it takes for him?
I need 10
So
takes
we
to
know-
read one
God,
word.
Our
we know your
good.
future. So basically, to sum it up, Mephibosheth was not a threat to David, at all. So David wanted to do something nice for him, so he gave him all of his David gave Mephibosheth all of his dad's land and his servants and stuff, so the servants could work the land, so he didn't have to. But the condition was that he had to come back to where David was, so the kingdom,
The
and he
king's
had
table.
to,
The king's table.
Yeah, the king's table, and he had to eat dinner with David every night. And yep, that's what happened. So basically, once Mephibosheth got all of his stuff, his soul was restored, I guess, and he wasn't as broken as he used to be, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. So